founder to be technical? Are you a technical founder? And what do you think that the CEO of the company, is it that important, or kind of you can always rely on other people to do that?
I think I think that these are questions that are really hard to have an answer for on a generalized basis. They're super specific to who you are as a person and the company you want to build. So for me, I'm not able to build this product myself. And so the very first thing I did before I did anything else was, let me find a co-founder who's technically gifted enough to build that's something this complex. And I spent months looking for that person, like hundreds of conversations. I traveled the world. I ended up, moving to London just because that's where that person lived. So right away, I knew my biggest risk was my lack of ability to build this. So I needed somebody to solve that. And then I stopped doing everything else except looking for that person. So for me personally, that was the best route forward. But I know a ton of great CEOs that are very technical, and I would argue in the right business, that's a huge advantage. For this business, it wasn't so much an advantage because I came from events and so I understood the market. But for many different types of VR companies, you absolutely need a technical CTO or CEO, especially because if they're doing sales that involves integrations with the enterprise, you need to have that ability to talk, with the right jargon.
Let me do this. And so as far as I understand, so the revenue, are you guys close to being profitable, or are you profitable, or?
No, so it's a totally free product.
Yeah.
We've done everything through investment. We took a approach like a social media company. So Facebook didn't generate revenue for quite some time until they were growing their user base. Twitter, the same concept. And so that's what we've taken the same approach as. Is let's do a free product for as long as possible, and then let's just get people to come use it. And then once we have a big enough audience, there's many ways to monetize a large audience.
And what is the audience currently, if that's okay to ask? Like, what is your attendance? Like a monthly? How do you measure it? Is it monthly or yearly? So you said it's yearly.
Quarterly.
Okay.
Quarterly. Quarterly allowed, because some people host a meetup every week. Some people host a meetup once a quarter. Yeah. So it's easier for us to bucket into quarters. And then we're getting ready to release all of our numbers and things like that in June. So stay tuned for that, and then I will tell you then.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, let me do the hard here.
Team, and then raise funding for the idea. I think I had an advantage there because I had spent pretty much 4 years of my life every day networking with investors and meeting investors, like just cold emailing them myself and seeing if they'd get on a call. So for me, we had to kind of formally do it from the very first day, and then also not just formally do it, legality-wise, but we also had to, if we're going to take on other people's money, then that wasn't something we could play around with. We had to all be serious and be full-time and like really, life or death kind of situation.
Yeah.
So for me, the most important thing is this concept called burning the boats. I don't know if you're familiar with the book called Art of War by Sun Tzu. Have you ever heard of that book?
I did, but I'm going to pick it up next.
Okay, so there's a quote in there, and he talks about these soldiers back in the day that when they used to invade a new area, they would burn their boats when they landed, and that way they couldn't retreat. And so the only way the only way out is to win. only one way. That's to win. So you have to win. There's no other choice, or you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
I always try to put myself in those positions as far as in business, and when I have like really hard goals that I want to achieve, I try to burn the boats. So basically giving myself no way out other than success or failure. And I think that's really what I would define as starting a company, is when you get to the point where there's no amount of risk that you're not willing to take, and you're just going to make it happen. I think so for me, it's not so much a time of like, how's the business doing, things like that. It's more of a mindset. And the mindset is like, how do you achieve that level of, paranoia, essentially? How do you achieve that level of, you need this to happen, and it has to happen. Like that tone of voice is really hard to get to, but once you get to it, then you can start the company, and then I would suggest going full time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and how long ago did you start? And if I can put like a few other questions inside that one, what is gonna be like? What is your long-term vision for the company? What do you think that will, like, ultimate success for the company would be? And
so we. Oh, sorry.
no, it's okay. Go ahead.
So we started at 2018, and then at that point, I think I incorporated it August 2018, and at that point, it was just myself in a cafe working alone. And then it took about 4 or 5 months to go from just myself to having a business model, a business plan, raising money, and and having kind of a complete team around that. So that that took a while. The ultimate goal for us is that anyone can use this product for free. That's a big thing for me, is that anyone can use this product for free. So we have people that host it. We have people hosting a film festival this week. We have a bunch of Meetup events that are happening. We have a live podcast on Wednesday. We have a trivia night next Friday. I'm doing a talk with a venture capitalist about the metaverse on Tuesday.
Oh, I want to go there.
Just having I'll send you the invite. But having that free product that anyone can use is our business model, and then the ability to let people monetize their own events by selling tickets, and then also us selling virtual goods and clothing. And so that's really the ultimate goal. So the only thing we care about is getting 100 million users, 100 million attendees that are coming and attending our events on a yearly basis, which is a really tough goal to get, obviously. But that to me is what success will look like, is when this is a free product that anyone in the world can use, and hundreds of millions of people are using that product.